If you've watched my other videos, then you know that right now I quit my job and I don't really have a plan, but what I'm trying to do is to confront things that are based in fear in my life because they have plagued my anxiety for as long as I can remember. One of those things is running without my shirt on. I was never muscular enough or skinny enough, and so it was always something that could happen later and didn't need to happen right now. Or I just wasn't comfortable with it happening right now. I wasn't comfortable with letting other people see my body because I myself didn't like to see my body, no matter what my size, because my entire adult life I've gone up and down in weight multiple times. I was never comfortable running without a shirt on and never comfortable with my own body, and honestly I'm just sick of it. Hey y'all. My name is Scott, and I am trying to challenge things in my life that are based and rooted in fear. I'm in this time right now where I'm unemployed, and so I have a little bit more free time to be able to work on myself in a lot of different areas. And one main area is that I really want to be a healthier and happier person. One of these areas of fear is having a negative view of my own body. My entire adult life, I've gone up and down in weight. That was correlated to my anxiety levels at the time, as my anxiety from things like work or school would increase, my motivation and energy to go work out would decrease, and then I oftentimes would stress eat as well, and because I was stress eating and not working out, then I would gain a lot of weight. And that in turn would then increase my anxiety levels. It was a vicious cycle, and eventually I just got tired of it and I didn't want to partake in it anymore. And so I really want to have a better view of my own body, to feel more comfortable in my own skin. I'm not alone in this. I've read studies where 84% of gay men and 30% of men in general either just are unhappy with their bodies or they have a significant negative view of their own bodies. The National Eating Disorders Association has also done research that states that there are unique stressors upon LGBT folks where those stressors sometimes make it more likely that they will develop an eating disorder. One such stressor for gay men is the societal pressure to have the perfect, most ideal muscular body. And for those who feel like they are inadequate or they can't measure up, that really is a source of anxiety and depression for a lot of gay men. If any of you have had any of the gay dating apps, or even the straight ones as well, things like Grindr or Tinder or Bumble, all those dating apps where you meet someone and initially you're seeing them just by their looks, you know that sometimes people put really mean things in their profiles. Things like no fatties, no femmes. For a community like the gay community that is already marginalized and faces discrimination from outside, there's a lot of internal discrimination within the gay community, and honestly this could be an entire video on its own and is kind of outside of our topic today. The important thing is when a person takes an entire group of people and completely discounts them from their life based off of a physical trait, really that has a significant impact on other people, and honestly they're losing out too, because how do you know that you may not fall in love with someone who maybe isn't your normal type, but they are still someone whose heart you adore? You can't really know that if you just write off an entire group of people. For those people that don't measure up to those expectations, it can be a huge point of anxiety for them. They never feel like they can hit that ideal image. There's a funny saying in the gay community that you can be straight skinny, but gay fat. And it's kind of an interesting one because the connotation behind the message is that if you were straight, you would be able to attract a partner, but because you're gay, the way that you look means that you're never gonna find love, which is fundamentally a terrible thing that you could say to somebody else. The message behind it is awful. To be honest with you, I'm often in that mindset where I feel like I'm straight skinny, but I'm gay fat. And I honestly feel like I never measure up. And what's crazy about that is I felt that way even when I was really skinny. I felt that way even when I'm heavier. So there's something wrong with that. If I'm feeling that way, no matter what my size, something needs to change, and that something needs to be me. I want to get out of that rut, not necessarily so that I can be gay skinny per se, but so that I can be healthy and happy and comfortable in my own skin, no matter how big or small that skin is, and so that I can feel more confident in myself. In order to really start looking at myself differently, I put together a few things that I've been trying to do so that I can really improve my image of my own body. I want to clarify that I'm not a licensed therapist or counselor, so please don't take any of this information as therapeutic or counseling or medical or mental health advice. This is really things that I've put together for myself right now so that I can try and have a better view of my own body. The first thing is to talk about it. Preferably you'd have a licensed therapist, or maybe you would have a counselor that you talk to frequently that you could talk about these issues with. Take a look at your health insurance if you have health insurance, and check and see if your insurance covers any certain number of therapy sessions per year. On one of my prior insurance plans, I was able to get 12 sessions per year. There are also some other ways to talk to a licensed counselor or therapist, and some of those are online that you can do from the comfort of your own home. If you are like me and you're an introvert and you feel a little bit uncomfortable with going to a therapist's office and sitting in the waiting room, then there are apps where you can video chat with a therapist or a counselor and talk about any issues that you've got going on in your life. I'll put a link down below to one of the services I found. I'm not endorsing them. They didn't endorse me or support this video in any way. I just happened to find them when I was looking for online resources that I could give to everybody. However, if you're unemployed like me, it may not be such an option for you, or you may not be able to afford to go to a therapist, but there are other things you can do. It is still crucial that you talk about these things with other people so that they're aware of the way that you're feeling. Find a friend, close family member, your partner, and really talk about how you feel about yourself. Be honest, be open, and share with them. It's important for your relationship, but it's just good in general to share that information with another person because they can help you process it. And honestly, if you're like me, when I say things out loud, it helps me process my feelings a little bit better than when I hold on to them. It's easier for you to carry the weight of some of those emotional burdens when you have someone else who's helping you carry them. Number 2 is positive support systems. People that you surround yourself with are people that are going to build you up, lift you up, motivate you, and care about you and love you. You only have so many minutes in a day, and you only have so much time that you can invest in other people. Do you really want to invest your time and your energy in someone who's tearing you down and making you feel bad about yourself? The next thing is to create a list of 3 to 10 things that you like about yourself. Just grab a sheet of paper, your iPad, anything you've got. What are those things about yourself that you really do like and admire about yourself? Physical qualities, personality traits, what are those things? Another variation that you could do about this too is you could sit down and grab a close friend or a family member that you trust or your partner and write 3 to 10 things about them and have them write 3 to 10 things about you. Number 4 is wear clothing that makes you feel good. You have that one dress, those pair of pants, those shoes, that total outfit that makes you look like you are awesome. You are gorgeous and you are gonna rock today. When I find clothing or have clothes on that I feel really good in and confident in, I'm really able to focus more on other things that I'm doing because I feel comfortable. I'm not noticing my body. I'm not feeling the parts of my body that I'm insecure about, and I feel good. And so that's a good thing to do and to keep doing, is to wear the clothes that make you feel really good. Number 5 is to challenge your irrational thoughts. I learned this when I was in therapy several years ago, and honestly, it's helped me a lot. Basically what happens, what irrational thoughts are, is that maybe you're going into a really difficult meeting that you're not excited about and that you're really stressed out about or anxious about, and your mind immediately goes to, I'm gonna get fired. If I get fired, where am I gonna live? If I don't have a place to live, how am I going to be able to feed myself? How am I going to be able to support my dog or my kids or my spouse? Sometimes your mind just goes to that really negative place. But really what's important to do is to really stop yourself for a second and think, wait, that's not what's happened in the past. I had a meeting like this before. It went fine. I was stressed out, but we got through it. We worked together to solve the issue that's happening, and it was okay. I didn't get fired. It was okay. You just have to constantly be consciously aware that when thoughts like that happen, that you need to take a step back and stop and confront it. It takes a lot of practice to get into the habit of doing that. But once you're able to start really confronting those negative thoughts, it's really incredibly helpful and powerful. It honestly takes a lot of work to consciously challenge those thoughts regularly. When you do have them, you'll be able to pull yourself back, challenge it, and calm down some of the anxiety that came with those thoughts. Number 6 seems like it should be an easy one, but it's often really stop comparing yourself to other people. You are the only you that there is in the world. And that makes you incredibly special and valuable and unique. And you should not compare yourself to anyone else other than who you were yesterday. That should be the only thing that matters. Your baseline for evaluating yourself is yourself, not some super hot dude on Grindr who says he doesn't like fatties. Number 7 is to challenge yourself to do things that are outside of your comfort zone. For me, like we talked about before, it's that fear of running without a shirt on. It's a simple thing. It's not something huge and complicated. I'm not jumping out of a plane. I'm literally just going for a run without a shirt. For me, it was something that is incredibly powerful to do. Be honest, one day I was getting ready to go run and I was outside on my patio putting on sunscreen, and I had my shirt off so that I wouldn't get weird tan lines by missing spots with the sunscreen. And then I thought, I should just go for a run. I should just do it. I should just challenge myself, even though it'll be uncomfortable. I'm just gonna do it. And to be honest, it felt really good because it was easy and it was something that I thought people were gonna look at me weird when I was running, but they honestly didn't. And what helped make it more comfortable, and unfortunately we're in this situation with COVID-19, but because I have a mask that I can pull up over my face when I'm running, when I get near people, it helped me feel a little bit more comfortable because I felt a little bit more anonymous. Anyone who knows me or is friends with me and saw me running without a shirt on would instantly know who I am because I have a whole lot of tattoos. So I had that thing that made what was uncomfortable a little bit more comfortable. And I've been trying to do it every single time I go for a run now. I try to go for a run without my shirt. And what I noticed was after about the first week of doing it, I went to a pool party with some friends, and normally when I got out of the water instantaneously, I would put my shirt back on. But I noticed that I didn't do that throughout the entire party. I didn't put my tank top back on until I was getting ready to leave. Honestly, this is a work in progress for me. I'm not gonna overcome a negative view of my own body in just a day or two or a week or a month. It takes time and it takes consistency. I'm gonna have to keep practicing these things in order to keep making myself better. I'm gonna keep challenging myself to be a healthier and happier person because I want to live a better life than what I feel that I had been up to this point, especially in the last few months of my old job when I felt like I was just going with the motions of my life. I don't really care if my body ever becomes like some Greek god, but I mean, I wouldn't hate it if that happened. Ultimately, my end goal is to keep practicing so that I can have a better view of my body, make it more positive, accept myself, love myself better, feel more confident in my own skin, and just feel more comfortable in my day-to-day life. I'm really glad that you're on this journey with me, and I hope that the confrontation of fears in my own life has been helpful to you as well. Do me a favor and smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and keep up with it as I keep going through different areas of my life where I'm trying to be brave and overcome things, but also so that YouTube's algorithms might place this video in someone's feed who it might be helpful to them as well, or encouraging to them as well. I'd be so stoked to be able to help other people with these videos as they're helping me to process the information that I'm really trying to go over and overcome in these certain areas. Do me a favor, in the comments below, tell me 3 things that you love and admire about yourself. I'd love to hear what you guys love about yourselves as well. I think it's a great exercise to reaffirm and give yourself some positive reaffirmation for the day. Have a great one, and I'm stoked that you guys are here.